Welcome to Thoughts of Treasures. My name is Connie. This is my craft room. Welcome in. If you guys are new, please be sure to follow or subscribe, depending on where you're watching from, so you don't miss out on any of the videos that I put out. I usually put about 4 out per week, sometimes less, sometimes more. Just all depends on how the week goes. But if this is something that you definitely want to see more of, you don't want to miss out. So be sure to hit that subscribe or follow. I also have a channel and a Telegram, which will allow you, channels through Facebook, to be notified exactly when I upload a video or go live. So you don't want to miss out on any of the good stuff. We're going to be working on this little kit tonight. This is our Autumn Welcome. I do have it backwards. We want to put Autumn at the top. Autumn Welcome fence. So this is just the 11-inch one. I have this in 18-inch. I think it's an 18-inch. So if you're looking for something more of a bigger size, door size, leaner size, that's more. This is more just a little decor piece. So we're going to paint this up. I have no idea what colors I'm going to do, so you're going to go through this process with me. First things first, we're going to pull this little sucker apart and divide it up into what we're going to do. Like I said, I'm not sure where I'm going with this. You'll see. Your guess is as good as mine. We're going to put our letters together, and then we're going to put all our little pieces together. And again, I'm not even sure what we're painting this, so I know that's going to be green. The little flower, the little button center. We got our little crowy crow. We've got our little hands to the Scarecrow, which are going to be the same piece. And well, I don't know what color we're going to do his nose either, so we're going to find that out. I don't know. We're gonna try this in several things. I might do his nose in orange. That might be a good thing. Then we got his hat brim, which I'm not sure what we're doing his hat yet. I'm gonna tell you, this is either gonna turn out nice or gonna turn out like let's go back to the drawing board with this one. Let me get another piece of tape. So it's always fun. I come into this as a non-planned kind of thing. Sometimes I do know what I'm doing. Sometimes it's just, let's just wing it and see what happens, because I'm not sure. Then we got his hair. We're probably going to do that like a, I do have I'm thinking like a yellow or a maize or something, but I don't know. And then we got his little face. And these two little pieces are for support, so we're just going to put them to the side. Not supports, yeah, supports. And then we got his little shirt. Not sure what we're doing that yet either. And then we've got these pieces. So, first things first, if you guys are not familiar with any of my kits, this is the best way to learn. 1/4 inch at the current moment does have a masking on it. Who knows what the future brings, but this is August of 2025. If you get a kit from me, you do have to remove this. Very simple, very easy to remove. I did find, if you guys are with me all the time, I did find my little, it was under the floor. Under the table, not under the floor. Lord. Yeah, I really put it way underneath. It was under the table. So we're just going to pull this off. And the laser does 3 things: cuts, scores, and engraves. Well, with anything engraved or anything scored, it still cuts it. So it's going to cut your tape also. You have to remove all of this good stuff. And yes, I could have done this ahead of time, but you know what? Nope. I want you to see things in real time. And in fun time. So it's really not hard to remove this. Just use something pointy. You can use your fingernails if you want to. I do not, because I do not have any. So I just use this little weeding tool. I got it with an order of vinyl many, many years ago, and I really liked it. I prefer this rather than the curved ones. But it is a little bit fatter, so actually it's now perfect for this. And I have several. I've got one over by my Glazer too, and it helps poke out the stuff. We use them all over the place. They don't make these anymore though, oddly enough. So if you have, like, you know, weeding tool from your vinyl machine, just use that. Just be mindful, you know, don't go poking at the wood. You don't want to put little dents and everything in your wood. whatever you can find. Some people use those dental picks to weed vinyl. I mean, that's fine too. Just, you know, like I said, be mindful. You don't want to scrape up your wood. Okay, there's piece number 1. Hopefully these pieces go faster. So I'm thinking I might want to chippy my back instead of doing it plain. I've been thinking about that for a long time now. I think it's been a couple minutes. While I'm picking this and talking, my brain is thinking, oh, what should I do? I have to have some sort of game plan. And if for some reason you accidentally forget to take this tape off, once you start painting and it starts, you're going to realize you forgot to take it off. The 1/8 inch does not come with this on here, so it's just on the 1/4 inch. Some lasers are a little bit stronger and they don't take as much. The more you have to use of the laser to get it to cut the wood, then it scores it and it burns it, and you know, it's a laser. So the thicker it is, the harder it is for some lasers to go. And sometimes you'll see it on the back. That's just because I have to wrap it around, and it just comes right on off. All right, let's see what we're gonna do here. I don't know. I think I'm gonna chippy. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this brown. I am going to do my back black though, just because I do that. So before I get started on that, I'm going to do my back. But I think I'm going to do brown. We're going to see how it's going to look. I know I could do the whole thing brown, but you know what? I like my backs to be different. That way I know it's the back and everybody else knows it's the back. I mean, we wouldn't want you to mistake this for the front. Now, it does hide all this ickies instead of having to paint it 15 times, so I'm okay with it. That way it's just more of a finished piece. This is only to cover it anyway, so we're all good. So while I'm doing this, just to tell you a little bit about my page, if you guys want to check out other projects that I have done, you can go to my website, thoughtsofTreasures.com, and there you will find, you cannot purchase from my site, but you can check out all of the different projects. It's more just like a blog site. We just keep it simple over there. If you want to check out the videos, you can just click the links. And I do believe they take you to YouTube now. But it's an easier way to find all the videos. And you don't have to have a YouTube account to watch them. So, you know, if you're thinking, oh, I don't have YouTube, that's fine. It'll just bring it up just like any other time you search something on Google. I am over, if you're watching me on Facebook, I am over on YouTube. If you're watching me on YouTube, I am over on Facebook. You know, we're on the TikTok too for how long, who knows. But we just take one day at a time with any of these social medias and have a good time doing it. Because if you're not having fun, ain't no point in doing it. Just keeping it real. There's no point in doing it if you're not going to have any sorts of fun. Alright, let's get that dry so we can flip it over. But I think I'm going to do a chippy. Not a horrible chippy, but just, you know, some people go a little overboard with chipping. I do not want to do that. But I think I'm going to do my undercoat in brown. Maybe I'm going to do burnt umber. Oh, he's so friend. His little skinny came down. I think I'm going to use burnt umber as my undercoat. And then we'll do white on top of it. What are you doing, girl? Where'd you go? So I came down to steal a piece of paper. So Now this kit does come in an 11-inch. This is the smaller one, and a 18-inch. It's an 18-inch. But now, if you're looking for this in a certain size, I can't go bigger than 18, but we can do like, you know, a 14 if you want a 14. There's options out there. All right, so I'm going to use the burnt umber, and we're just going to coat this whole thing. This is just for placement purposes, so I'm not concerned about covering it up. It's not anything of my must-have. Put this all underneath. Push this out of the way a minute. It's always fun to try different techniques if you're not into doing chippy, and I'll show you how I do my chippy. Everybody does it different. Some people go a little bit more crazy with it. Some people don't like it. I don't want to do too much because I don't want to take away from the Scarecrow on the front, but it's nice to have some kind of a little bit of texture in the background maybe. And I am going to do 2 good coats on this. And we'll see where we go with our little Scarecrow, because I'm just not sure where I want to go with him. Now, my kits do come with an inspirational picture. That doesn't mean that, you know, they're always good. They're just pictures. They're just pictures. So I'm going to try this. I'm going to put another coat on because I want it nice and dark. Now, we could just go with this and maybe put over. Dry brushing. Now that I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, no, I'm gonna go with the chippy. We're gonna do chippy. Because you could do this and then do a dry brush of white on top of it. Nah, we're gonna go chippy. Let's just do chippy. Let's just go chippy. I haven't done chippy in a while, so I do need some more burnt umber. Now when I do the second coat, I do want to make sure that it's completely dried before I do my white over top. Now, there are different ways to do chippy. You can use Mod Podge, you can use glue, you can use Vaseline, you can just paint over and just start chipping away at it. I mean, I'm doing the glue method and I'm going to show you that. Alright, that looks good to me. We're going to get this completely dry. Yeah, you can see mine a little bit. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it afterwards, but we're okay. Oh shoot, I have to do these 2 pieces. And I do have to do that. So before I go any further, I completely oopsied because I got to do these 2 pieces too. They got to get chippy too. This is all part of the fence. Let's try that. We'll put the second coat. So whatever you're going to chippy, the undercoat is going to come out. That's why I want to make sure it's nice and dark. Yes, we will be painting over top of this, but you're still going to end up seeing whatever come through, so you don't want to see wood through it, unless that's what you want. You just want to make sure that it's got a nice finished coat. That's why I'm doing 2 coats on here. Alright. Let's get everything nice and dry. Start over here. Push over here. Now I'm going to go over this with a sander. Not to sand anything off. I just want to get it a nice smooth surface. Sometimes when you paint, this isn't too bad. Sometimes when you paint wood, you're going to feel that roughness. And that is the fibers, the paints react with it's a whole chemistry thing. Just sand it. Just sand it, that's all you got to worry about. So I just used a block. You've seen it's been used many, many times. We're just going to go with it. Just let me go over it. This will allow the paint, the second coat of paint to go over nicer. And it's also going to allow your glue stick, which I'm going to use, to go on here nicer. So let's start with this big one. Just remind me that I got to do these 2 pieces too. Alright, we're going to use white. Just apple. I'm going to throw things at you. Just the apple barrel white's all we're going to use. So I am just using glue stick, and I'm just using the purple one so you can see it a little bit better where you're putting it. That's the only reason. There's no purpose to the purple except for, you know, you can kind of see. It's going to go away when you chippy it off. So be mindful, I've got things here, so it doesn't matter. So I'm just going to put a little glue on here. I don't want to go crazy. And I may be, but that's okay. Alright, so wherever you put the glue, that's where your chippy's going to start to look. Alright, so we're just going to take white. Now, here is the thing. When you do this, you want to be mindful that you're going in one direction. You don't want to keep spreading it back and forth in this way, that way, this way. Just go in one direction. You can go up and down, but you can't go this way, then this way. So just keep all your strokes going one direction. And I'm going to try to be a little mindful. That I don't get it on the sides. But you're going to see where the glue is, it's going to start not wanting to put paint there. And that's fine. Just keep going. Or you'll see starting to get like a crackle effect. And again, if you want to paint the whole board and get that crackle effect, you can do that too. Going to get this all nice and painted. I may even go over it a little bit more. I just don't want it all over the sides, so that's why I'm being a little bit gentle. Wherever you have that glue, you're going to get a little reaction from the paint. Now, if you don't want to use white for your top coat, you want to maybe use like a plaster or a tan color, you know, you could get the same effect. But I'm just going to probably use more tan on my Scarecrow, so you know, I was kind of like thinking maybe I shouldn't use tan. Oh, my dog was down here. She must have left again. definitely do not want to keep dipping your brush into a, like if you're using jar paint, definitely do not do that because it's now going to have paste in there. So if you use it again, you may be getting paste into your, same thing with Mod Podge. You never dip into there and then paint over Mod Podge. And see how it's coming off, it's okay. We're going to scrape that off anyway. Alright, I think we're going to stay with that. Now let's give this a complete dry. I'm going to get my trusty scraper out. It's nice having all of your tools and everything around you. You can just remember where you put them. That's the only thing. Get this completely dry before you do anything. And you can see how it's already reached. Now, if that's not your thing, you definitely don't want to try it and go, well, that just looks ugly and old. Well, that's what it's supposed to be. If that's what you're saying, then I've already succeeded. We haven't chipped anything off of it. Just want to make sure everything's completely dry. And now I gotta do the other step. Darn it! Yeah, didn't remind me. Alright, let's set this. Let's just chip it first. So then you're just going to take, this is just from the Dollar Tree, I think it's a paint scraper. And just kind of run it up. Now how much you want to take off is going to be up to you. I don't like to take a whole lot off. You could take more than this because it could come up. There's other two pieces I forgot. And I'm not even putting a lot of pressure on this at first because I don't want to take a whole lot off. And I know you're probably going, that is a lot. Well, it is, but you can take a lot more off. Isn't that awesome? Just looks all nice and weathered. Now we gotta do the other piece that I forgot to do. Let me get my glue back out. And we're just going to do the same thing on here. A little bit over here. And then we're going to take our white again. I'm going to need some more white. And, oh, I'm going to make a mess. Just dumped it all in the paint. Get that up. Right. Leave it to me. Alright, I'm just going to go this direction. And then we'll do this one. going to do the same thing, dry these completely. Bring it closer. And let's go ahead and get this board glued together so we're just going to take our paint scrubber, we're going to go in this direction and just pull some of this off. I don't want to go crazy with it. And wipe this off. And alright, now let's put this back in here. Let's get our glue, and we're just going to we're going to glue this together. So one's going to go down here. Let's see. Autumn welcome, yeah, autumn. You can still see. That's welcome. That's autumn. Autumn, welcome, yes. Backwards. Alright. Let's get this on here. And look, if you don't want to put the Scarecrow in there, you can use this for a lot of different things. If you just want the fence, just message me. I mean, I can take the score marks off for it. You just gotta tell me what you're looking for. If you just want the fence this size, that'd be awesome. Just say, hey, Connie, can I just get that fence? That was just the best piece ever. Glue off of here. We can let this dry. Look at that. Awesomeness. Look at it. Look at it. Just take your time getting things lined up. And with a creepy board like this, you don't have to be super, super picky. But when other things come about, you might want to take your time. I have a glob of glue right here that I'm not worried too much about it if it's coming out on the sides, because that will clear, or that'll dry clear. However, this big clump may not. So we're going to let that to the side and dry while we do all our other pieces. Awesomeness, it looks good. Perfect. All right, let me wipe this off so my glue doesn't dry up. And I'm just using the Dollar Tree glue. I always use that. I just think it's amazing stuff. It works perfect. All right, let's see. I don't know any colors to use for this. I'm going to tell you, I'm not sure. I think we're gonna do, I think I'm gonna do our letters in flamenco red. So I'm gonna do the autumn welcome, or autumn welcome. Yeah, autumn welcome. I did say it right. in this flamenco red. So I'm just going to take a brush and we're just going to go over it lightly. I think the red will stick out on that. It's either that or it's going to do it black, but let's do the red. I think the red might look nice. If it doesn't, we'll just put black on it, okay? So I'm just going to go over this. These are some very, very, very skinny letters. And then let's do the autumn, the same thing. Because I think this red is going to look nice on top of that. Chippy. Alright, that looks good. Do we want to do anything else for red? I may want to do, I think I'm going to do his, yeah, let's just do it. I'm going to do his scarf. So again, these marks I do want to see, so I'm going to be gentle, and we're just going to lightly go over it. If we have to put more coats on, we have to put more coats on. But I don't want to get a lot of that paint in those score marks. If you want to use a dabbing motion, but I'm just going to rub it on top. I'm going to do the same thing for the knot, and I'm going to draw it. I don't want to go too dark, so I think I'm just going to leave it like that. And sometimes, you know, if you want to use the shading of the wood and not going so dark and make it, you take it back, or take advantage of that. Not everything has to be fully painted or, you know, perfectly 10 coats on each one. Take advantage of it because it may turn out a lot better than you think it is. I'm trying to think. I think I'm just going to use peach for his. I know Scarecrow's really not peachy. Maybe I should use it. I'm just gonna. People are gonna make him peach. It's okay. Don't judge. Don't judge. I have all these peaches and nothing's open. That's toasted marshmallow. That's not even peach. Alright, we're going to just use peach for his face. For his face and his hands, I'm just going to use peach. I don't know. We're going to see. Again, like I said, I'm just going with the flow with this. We're going to see where we go. His eyes. Yes, I do need to know where his eyes are going to go because we're going to fill them in with black. However, the nose part, he does have a nose. So, I'm not going to worry about the nose. But I do want to keep his eyes a little bit clear so I can see where I'm supposed to put. I mean, I don't have to have full. If I get paint in the lines, it's fine. Is this the correct color I should be? Nah, probably not, but it's okay. It'll work. We'll do a couple coats of that. I'm going to do the same thing for his hands. He's a scarecrow. We'll just make him scary. That's good. Don't need to make it too dark. We're good with that. Let's just give that a quick dry. Shirt, hair, and a hat. I think I'm going to go with a brown hat. I think I might use nutmeg. And maybe like a blue shirt. I didn't do like, I think a blue shirt. His hair, I'm just going to go ahead and use this yellow. This is just yellow by Apple Barrel, but it's like a golden color. It really turns out to be nice. I use it for sunflowers a lot. I might paint our flower that color too, because that might look nice on top of it. This will go on a brown hat. You know, sometimes when you craft, you just gotta, I don't know, just go with it. And then if you want to mix a little bit brown into this, it would be fine too, because you know. You see what I mean? It's just, it's more of a, it's not so, well, it looks a little bright there, but it really doesn't in person. Now I'm going to do my sunflower or flower, not sunflower, it's just a flower, the same color. Since I put way too much on my plate. And again, I want the score mark, so I'm going to be a little gentle. Just lightly go over it. I mean, if you are one of those people that like to use those little makeup brushes, definitely use them too. And just tap, 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 kind of like stenciling. Or you can use acrylic markers. I'm going to probably pull that out too here in a second. Well, do I need it? No, not really. I might do the orange on his nose. And then for the leaf, you know, I think I'm gonna go with a little bit different color. I don't know what this is, but we're going to use it. This is a satin acrylic paint. I don't know what the heck that is, but it is lime. Let's do it. Why not? See? I don't know. I got nothing. We're just going to paint the whole, and you're not going to see it all, but we're just going to paint over here. Because I'm going to put this on the brown hat, so I want to make sure that you're going to see it if I use a darker green. No. It's okay. Alright, now we do need our black bird, and we need a button, so we're going to do the button brown. Do I have a... No. Let's just use our nutmeg, because I'm going to use the hat and the nutmeg too, but let me just use, I'm going to use this. Love. This is probably my favorite brown ever, is nutmeg. It's just it's by Apple Barrel. It's an awesome reddish brown color, and it just is amazing. So I'm going to do both pieces in this brown. Give him a brown hat. There is one little score mark up here, and I'm just going to be careful when I get there because I do want to see it. It's like an awesome red-brown color. I think it's perfect. And I'm going to decide whether I want to do a second coat on that or if I'm going to leave it kind of like that. And I'm kind of liking it like that. This is the little Lemmy brim. I think I'm going to leave it that color. Alright, then we have the bird and his nose. Oh, that kind of went together. It's okay. Blue. I think I'm going to use a light blue color. Do I want to go with this color? Yeah, we're going to do it. Fun to have all the paints. Too many choices, but just love the colors. And where his hands go, I'm not so much worried about, so we don't have to go all the way to the end. But oh, that was just not a. See, and again, this is the reason. Let go. You don't want to have too much paint on your brush. Alright, let me put that over here. Gosh, I still do. What is up with this? I'm not sure what's going on with this paint, but maybe I'm not supposed to do this color. I don't know. Something's telling me something's weird. Alright, let me give that a good dry and then start. Do it again. I don't know what the color. What's the color is this? Ocean Cruise. It's a really pretty blue. Is it a Scarecrow blue? I don't know, but it's gonna look nice with the red. And then what I'm gonna do his nose. So I think I'm gonna do it. I have a dark one and a little blue. Accident happening. Hold up, clean up in aisle 15. Hey, it's not crafting until you make a mess. This is what? Flamingo coral. I think I'm gonna say. Let's see what it looks like as a nose. It's all over the side here. I'm just gonna take a little paintbrush and paint this. Cause I don't want, I mean, his face is kind of peach. I don't know if this is, You know what, that might not be bad on against the peach. Just don't tell anybody I use coral. It's okay. Look at this stuff falling everywhere. I think that's going to be okay, because it's going to be next to the peach, on the peach. I think that'll work. Alright, that's, besides the bird, we're going to do the bird here now. I do need black. Do I have, I don't have, yes I do. And I am going to use a tiny brush, because I want to get his nose. Push this to the side. His nose, his beak. Ah, stop, I dipped it in the wrong color. Get off of there. I dipped it in the coral, not the black. And that is good. Alright, I think right now that's good, that's good. Let me get rid of some of these paints. I've got paints everywhere. You pull them all out, and then we end up with all of them sitting here. Alright, let me pull these off of here. And I'm going to decide if I'm going to do anything. I'm going to put it together on the thing. I'm just trying to get rid of this blue tape because it's got blue paint on it. So be mindful when you do things, letters like this, don't rip the wood off. Kind of peel it away from your tape. So pull the tape basically away from the wood because they're very, very thin. They can snap. Oh, I gotta paint the little. His little nose needs to be painted. His beak. Pull all of these off and get rid of the tape. Be mindful of this little bird is still wet, so I'm going to put him over yonder. That's all my pieces that are painted. So now we can start putting them on here and see what we like and what we want to change. So, autumn. And I do have to kind of look where the letters go because there still is a thing. Welcome. And, ow, no. His little rim goes on here. Little hair goes on here. We do have to give him some black eyes. His little nose goes on here. Kind of cute, kind of cute. He's looking okay. Now this is where the little spacers go in, because we're going to put one there and we're going to put one there, so that when we put his hands on here, they reach over top of the and you know what, I should have painted the entire thing there, because you're going to see under that. Well, we will fix that, and that's why we got time to fix. You know what, I still have some in this plate. Don't you need more? We're going to paint them all the way to the end. Let's give that a dry real quick. Now, before I paint and put it together, I am going to put a little bit of shading around it. Let's get this dry. Let's paint it one more time. Let that dry a second. Alright, now let me decide what I'm going to do here. I think if I want to go lighter, if I'm going to put white around there, I think I'm going to brush some white on there. If we're going to go in with a so on his hat, not a lot, and I'm going to water it down some with my brush so it's just kind of, it gets wet. But I'm going to take one of these. Ooh, maybe, do I have any more? Knock that over, that wouldn't be good. I'm going to take this brush and see if it works. Alright, so I'm going to take his hat off. And I'm just going to kind of give it a little bit of edging around it. I don't want it to be too dark. Not sure I like this brush too much, but I'm just going around the edge and highlighting it. Just like so. Okay, not too much. We're going to do the same thing to the hat. You're not really going to see that part, so we'll just start here. Now, I am definitely not any kind of artist by any means, so I just do this to have fun. I practice with it. Now here we're going to follow the little highlight mark. just like that, just to give it a little bit of shading and highlighting. We're going to do the same part with this. Just some edging work. Let's just go across the bottom too, just to just went around it to get a little bit of edging. Okay, now, I don't think I'm going to do anything with him. Alright, I think that's all. No, I'm going to give my flower a little bit. Just put a little white on there. Now sometimes you might go, oh, that's a little too much. But we're going to do our little bird too. Just because he's very, very dark. Give him a little something, something to... Just a little highlighting, make him a little bit noticeable. Alright, let's put that in there. Alright, I think that's pretty much... do I want to do something? No, I'm going to leave that. Let's just leave that and see what happens. Alright, let's put this together now. This is going to go down here. Put his hat back on here. Put his rim back on. Put his little scarfie on. Yeah, sometimes you gotta do things the right way, Connie. Alright, I think he's looking cute. Alright, let's get him glued. Let's get him glued. Make sure I'm not seeing any. Glue it down, let me. push it down all. Put a little bit of glue here. Let's do our bottom. And I'm not putting glue on every single piece of this. Just rubbing a little bit here, rubbing a little bit there. Make sure I got it on there. Let's get his little rim on. And his little hair. Now I'm going to stop right here and we're going to get his eyeballs on. I'm just going to use an acrylic marker. And we're just going to perfect. Let's get his little nosy on. Now I'm going to stick these here. Put the little flower together. Let me make sure. Oh shoot, I forgot to paint the other side. See, I forgot a leaf. Let's paint this side. Now let's find our where. We're going to put that there and our little crow right there. Let's do it that way. Put our little crow right there, and then I'm trying to think how I want to do this. Let's put it this way. our little button. Looking cute. Look, if I put it on the wrong side. Looking cute. I'm gonna put these onto the back of this. This way. All right. Now, perfect. Now I'm going to do a few little highlighting. Oh, I got to do this little scarfy thing. I almost forgot this piece. Alright. I'm going to get some fresh white. Oh, that's a lot. Now I'm just going to go in and do just a few little, I don't know what you want to call them, just some cutesy things. And again, I'm not a professional at this, so we're just going to I don't know, there's a spot there. We're gonna put and go around. Let's see. That's because I'm using the wrong paint. No wonder it's like, why is this not flowing? I put fresh paint on and I'm using the older paint. Let me think. And let me put these on here. We're going to put some on his hands, definitely. Just going to do the same thing. I think that looks perfect. I'm not going to do any more. I think it's good. And wipe off my brushes and wipe off my... I don't ever wash this. I just wipe it off and put it back over. It's the only thing I use it for. So, you know what I want to do? I do want to do... Let's see if we can do it. I'm just going to put... just a little, and then we're just going to do down his nose with a little bit of... I think that's perfect. Alright, no more. You could keep going, keep going, and keep going, but I'm done. I'm going to dry this. And we're going to call it finished. Alright, so there we go. There's our finished little autumn welcome sign. Turned out so cute. And guys, remember, if you want the back to be, you can always go back and paint that, that's fine. But, there we go. I hope you guys enjoyed. If this is something you're interested in, you could just message Scarecrow in the comments, and I can definitely get that information to you. I do want to say thank you for being here, and I appreciate you all watching. Until next time, I will see you. Till next time, remember, thoughts become things, and things become treasures. I'll see you in the next video.